From the family grocery hauler to fire-breathing racing engines, the one name you need to know is USA Motor and Machine, located at 51 Cleveland Avenue in Nashville, Tennessee. Give them a call at 615-726-3725 or at usamotorandmachine.com.
Talkapolis, the social media TV network for your city.
And welcome back, everybody, to the final segment of Pit Pass. Joe Williams, Larry Woody. When we get done here, we're taping on Friday. It's a little unusual. And we just go over to the batter's box for a little lunch. You can do that, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. The batter's box at 43 Hermitage Avenue. Turns out a bunch of folks that I went to high school with seem to go out there quite a bit. So that's a good thing. Now they're going and watching the races a little bit more.
Good food, good atmosphere.
Yeah,
what more
always.
do you want?
Highland Rim Speedway, the best little short track here in Middle Tennessee if you want to go weekly racing. And Larry, let's face it, that's where the excitement remains, is in the weekly racing. Yeah. The guys and gals who go out there and do it because they love it and trying to build a future. Got a big schedule. We're getting close. We've been talking about this for a while. We keep getting closer and closer and closer to the start of the real racing season, which opens April the 13th at Highland Rim, their first event. Tomorrow, last week was their job fair. Tomorrow they're going to actually take some time off to relax a little bit. Well, that's a lie. You know Buddy and that bunch. No. Buddy, Roger, and them there. But nobody will be up there, let's say. Practice on the 30th, media day on the 6th, and the first race on April 13th. Larry, media days are always a lot of fun. You remember what they used to be like when the local media would actually come out and do some things. Yeah,
and you could go out and you could meet the drivers. It's relaxed. They're not under pressure. They're not scurrying around, trying to get their cars, tinkered on and ready to race. So it's a good, relaxed atmosphere. It's always fun. And as we said before, Joe, there's no more great human interest stories for the media than these little racetracks like Highland Rim. I mean, you could go there and wander around for a couple hours and fill up a notebook. You could get 20 good stories. There's almost everywhere you go down pit road, there's a story. And it's just, from the media standpoint, it's great.
The Rim, of course, I guess 50 plus years again, going to go at it. Unless you've actually been there to feel the atmosphere of this place, Larry, it truly is one of those racetracks that just, it exudes Saturday night. Have you ever saw Madhouse, which was an A&E program where they followed the folks at Bowman Gray, and what a great story Bowman Gray is. And they used the open wheel modifieds as their premier division, and that was, you just kind of got the feeling that this was the kind of place where, the old time guys would have come. Now, I don't think the Rim is quite as entrenched with folks who truly hate each other and wish nothing but ill will and concrete for the front end of their competitors, but still kind of that same historic feel.
And you have some good rivalries. Every season there'll be a couple of guys. Usually it's 2 or 3 guys running up front, and there's only room for one car in front. So, but that's good. That's what race is supposed to be about. You're not supposed to pull over and wave people through. But good rivalries. You don't have any real friction or anything like that. So it's good. It's what races. That's how racing started out. That's how it grew to be the sport that it is from the Highland Rims around the country. Yeah. That's what made NASCAR. And if it weren't for the people like the ones that are going to be racing on April 13th out at Highland Rim, we wouldn't be talking about the Cup guys and girls going to California this week, because there wouldn't be a NASCAR as we know it without the Highland Rims of 40, 50 years ago. Yeah.
Now, if you ever thought about driving a car?
No, other than just the one over to your house, when you invite me to dinner, but certainly not on the racetrack.
Would you be interested?
No, I wouldn't. I remember what happened to our buddy Rudy Kalis one night. Reporter should stay in the press box, and the driver should stay on the racetrack. That's always been my philosophy. And I remember what happened to you too. Speaking of reporters who got behind the wheel of a race driver.
Yeah, but I'd do it again, I think.
I always made a deal with Darrell Walter. If I wouldn't drive his race car, and Darrell wouldn't tell me how to write my stories, and we had a pretty good working relationship for about 35 years. But no, to answer you seriously, I've never driven one, Joe.
Would you be interested at all?
No, I wouldn't. I'm too old and brittle now.
The reason I'm asking,
you're trying to lure me out.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to hook you in, because the Rim is going to put together a front-wheel drive enduro. Now, if you've ever wanted to go racing and find out what it's about, this is the way to do it. Very inexpensive, and we'll have more details as they finish releasing all the rules and everything. Larry, basically what it is, they're requiring now a front-wheel drive car. I knew this day would come. But you make a few safety modifications. Everything else is literally stock, and you go out there and you race.
What's the difference in an Enduro and a demolition derby?
An Enduro you race, you don't crash on purpose.
You're not trying to wipe the competition.
No, you're trying to beat the competition.
Yep.
Besides, smaller is quicker and faster.
and whoever Enduro races is the winner.
Yeah, but we'll have more details. A front-wheel drive Enduro at the rim. I remember they did, Harold Chaffin did one. New Year's Day of 1985, did one of the old Enduros. Joe Carver Jr. actually drove the car, but we had a group of us from the fairgrounds that went up there. It snowed. It stinking snowed on New Year's Day. It's flurries. I mean, it's not like it was anything big, but I can remember standing there shaking my head going, we got to be crazy.
I remember I went to the rim a few years ago that announced that they're going to have a demo derby. I went up and I was watching it, and I told the promoter at the time, I said, man, this is one of the greatest demolition derbies I've ever seen. And he said, no, this is the race. The demo derby starts after a while. So,
well, Larry,
pretty good action.
You're going to get us all in trouble now. Larry's been a good week.
Yeah.
We'll come back next week, talk about California. Any parting thoughts on what you expect?
Yeah, but after we sit here and prophesied about what a boring race it'll be on this big 2-mile flat track, as I say, Joe, it may be one of the greatest stock car races in history. We may be replaying this race for months to come. I think it'll be interesting. I've just got a feeling that the drivers have heard people like you and me complaining about the lack of racing. At some point, they're going to get fed up with it and they're going to start racing again. Maybe Sunday at California.
I think you're right. One final note for this week, and that is this, and this is for everybody out there. Just remember something important for me, okay? And that is this: being too slow on a racetrack is maybe as dangerous or more so than being too fast or faster than everybody else. And you know what? That transfers right over to the interstate too. So for the two cars from Michigan who were going 45 in the left-hand lane this morning, thank you for waking me up out of fear. I have been a long time since I've seen that many vehicles go shooting off in different directions. And by the way, the guy from Williamson County who made the move to the left between the wall and the cars and made it, buddy, I want to know who you are, because I think you've got a future in racing.
Is it true that you were actually black flagged off 540 this morning?
No, but, well, it wasn't black flagged. I think it was a little fear more than anything else. I'm missing some upholstery in the seat, but that's another story. Folks, join us next week. For Larry Woody, I'm Joe Williams. We'll see you then on Pit Pass.